I could just sit here and lie, but that'll feel strange. And rap about all the shit I ain't got, and not the real thing.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Tyrenajewel, and I am here with another video. Today I'm coming to y'all with a different kind of video. I'm just going to be giving 10 tips or like 10 pieces of advice for like living on your own while working a full-time job or going to school full-time. I've been living on my own now for 5 years, and I will say that I have learned so much since being on my own, and I just feel like I have some tips that will at least help y'all. If you don't like all 10 tips, there should at least be one of these tips that can help you. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. And make sure that y'all hit that subscribe button, y'all. I am trying to reach my first goal of 5,000 subscribers, and that can only be done with the help of y'all. So please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and make sure that you check out some of my latest videos as well. Let's get right into it. My first tip would be to make sure that you budget. Make sure that you are writing down what your bills are, and while you're doing that, be honest with yourself. For instance, if you know, of course we already have our regular bills, our rent, our lights, our water, our car note, our car insurance, our cell phone bill. Those are things that we already know that we have. But if you have something else that you're doing throughout the month that you get done every month or that you do every month, you need to make sure that you incorporate that into your budget as well. So I know for me, I get my nails done every month, you know what I'm saying, sometimes 2 times a month. So what I do is I write that within my budget. It's just all about being realistic with yourself. Nobody else is going to be looking at your budget or what you have written down. It's just going to be you. So there should be no reason why you're lying to yourself. Be honest and write out what you spend your money on. If you know that you eat out a lot, you need to make sure that you add that to your budget. If we all buy food for our house, so, well, some of us don't because some of us eat out all the time, but like for me, I buy food often. So I make sure that, because I cook a lot, I don't really eat out a lot. So I make sure that I add food into my budget. It's just about being realistic, and you need to see your bills listed. Regardless if you want to write it in your iPhone or if you want to write it on a piece of paper, it doesn't matter. But you need to list out the bills that you have and go about it that way. I feel like seeing your bills in front of you, the numbers and everything, it makes a difference. The second tip that I have for y'all is knowing when to spend money. It is extremely important to know when you should spend your money, and I've had to learn that because of course whenever you're living with your parents and you get money, it's nothing just to go out there and spend it, just because, I mean, what bills do you really have? So whatever. But the older we get, the more we have to be careful with how we spend our money. We need to know what we're spending our money on, or is the purchase even worth it, especially if you're on a tight budget. So know when it's time to spend your money. If your girlfriend wants to go out and she wants to go shopping, or if you're like your best friend wants to go out and she wants to go shopping, know that, okay, yeah, go shopping with her, but know that if you don't have the means to spend any money, do not spend money. You know what I'm saying? Know when to spend your money. It is not always necessary every time you walk into a store that you have to purchase something. So I feel like it's very important to know when to spend your money as well. And the third one is going to be, which is to me like one of the most important, which is save your money. I don't care if it's the minimum, put something aside into a bank or an online bank, it doesn't matter. But you need to put something aside every time you receive a paycheck. It's seriously important because you never know what can happen. Tomorrow my car can break down, and if I don't have any money saved up, it's going to be kind of hard for me to get my car repaired. So it's important, especially whenever you're living on your own, that you are saving your money. Super important, especially if you're living on your own while working full-time, while going to school. You need to save your money, especially if you're working full-time and going to school, because I know for me personally, which that's my case, like I live on my own, but I do work full-time, I do go to school. it's important to save money, because there's times like whenever midterms are coming up that I may need to take off extra days from work to study, and if I don't have any money saved up, what do I really have to cover my ass if anything happens? So it's super important to save your money. And I don't really care if you're living by yourself or if you have roommates or if you're living with your parents, you should be putting something aside. Simple as that. The next one is going to be live by your financial means. And all this really means is stay in your financial lane. In life, you should stay in your lane. So within life, you should stay in your financial lane. Don't try to go over there to Nicki Minaj's lane or Diddy's lane if you know that your bank account doesn't hold that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you might see your favorite celebrity with the nice shoes on, the shoes that cost $1,200, but if you don't have that to spend, do not spend it. Stay in your financial lane. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? I know what I can and what I cannot afford. And I know that if I do want something that is a little bit more pricier, then I'm going to save up for it. I'm not just going to make a sudden purchase, not because I don't have the money, but because I know that I don't need that at that exact moment. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that you just stay in your financial lane and do what you can do. It's okay to look at others and be inspired, but you should never look at others and either become jealous or feel like, oh, I have to have what they have right now. Especially if you don't have the means to have what they have right now. So stay in your financial lane. The next piece of advice I have to y'all is never be too old to learn new things. I feel like it's important that every day we learn new things. I do not have a problem saying, okay, I don't know this, I don't know that. Well, can you teach me this? Can you teach me that? Hey, can you teach me how to do that? I don't have a problem saying that. It is important that you understand that whenever it comes to learning about bills and saving money, don't act like you know everything, because we don't know everything. There are many people out there that know a lot more about financials than we do. And if they're trying to offer us a piece of advice, just take a second, listen, and you might learn something. And if you don't learn anything, that's okay too. But that doesn't mean that you should dismiss the next person that's trying to teach you something. Like my mom, she preaches to me almost every day about saving money, this and that. I could easily ignore her and, Mom, can you stop? You're getting on my nerve. No, I listen to her. She knows a lot more about this than I do. So never be too old to learn new things. The next piece of advice that I have is don't make sudden purchases. It is really important, especially whenever you're on a budget, like I am. It is important that I do not make big sudden purchases. Like for my camera, for instance, I waited on that for a while, and it ended up working out that I did wait because somebody helped me buy it. You know what I'm saying? And they helped me a lot, you know. But just because you see something right then and there does not mean that you have to purchase it right then and there, unless you have that. Unless that is your financial lane and you have that, that's fine. But if that's not your financial lane and you are on a tight budget, do not make a sudden purchase. You know what I'm saying? Look at what it is that you want and set yourself up a saving up plan and do it like that. Save up to get whatever it is that you want. But if you do not have it to make that sudden purchase, do not try to make the sudden purchase. It doesn't make any sense. All that's going to happen is a couple weeks down the road, you're going to be stressed out about bills. It's not worth it. The next one that I have is, where is that? Be realistic. And whenever I say be realistic, that just means, once again, just be real with yourself, y'all. Sometimes people have a hard time being honest with who they are and what they have, but if you want to be able to live on your own while working a full-time job, and I'm talking about a 9-to-5 kind of job, you know what I'm saying? Because that is what I have right now. I can't speak from anything else because I haven't done anything else. That is how I make my money right now. That is how I pay my bills, is from a 9-to-5. So if you're a person like myself who's working a 9-to-5, a full-time job, 40+ hours a week, and on top of that going to school, it is important that you are real with yourself and that you understand your budget and that you understand your money. Be real with yourself and write it out. That might actually help you stop that bad habit or stop spending money certain places once you see it written down. So definitely be real with yourself. The next one I have is, this is more geared towards school and work, but it's prioritize your time. And that is super important, especially if you're working full-time and going to school full-time, because let me tell you something, honey. Last semester I took 6 classes. Let me tell you something. If I did not prioritize my time, I would have lost my mind, y'all. Like, it was so hard. And remind you, I have to keep up a certain amount of hours because I live on my own to pay my bills. I work very hard. So while doing those 6 classes, while working full time, if I did not prioritize my time, I would have been going crazy, or I would have not known how I was going to pay my bills. But it was hard. But if you organize your time and set out time for studying, set out time for, okay, I'm gonna do my homework. Like, I had a planner and I wrote down, okay, on this day I do my homework for an hour. On this day, read this chapter for 30 minutes. Like, you have to organize your time. That's all that it's about. You have to prioritize your time. Do the things that are important. And some days that means that you won't be able to do anything fun. There's a lot of days, because usually I work 5 to 6 days a week. There are days where even though I have off, I'm not really off. So you have to make sure that you prioritize your time to be successful. The next piece of advice I have is, it basically ties in with the last one, is stay organized. You have to be organized. You cannot be all over the place. And I feel like that means you have to physically be organized, as far as you need to have your, I don't understand how people could just throw stuff in their book bags and be able to find it. I don't know. Some people, for them it works. For me, I would go crazy. But physically be organized. Like, have your room organized, have your book bag organized, have your binders organized, have your homework organized, have all that organized. And if you're trying to live on your own and work and go to school, you have to be. There's no other way around it whatsoever. The next one, well, this is actually the last piece of advice I have, is, and this ties into school, but don't be so quick to buy your books, y'all. Do not be so quick to buy your textbooks. Don't do it. Like I said, so like my classes, well, not even my classes, but for school, I don't get financial aid. I've never received financial aid. They've always said I made too much, whatever. So I don't get financial aid. So in the beginning of me going to school, I was paying out of pocket for everything. Then I was able to get some scholarships, so then that was paying for my schooling. But no matter what, I never, as soon as I get my classes, I don't go and buy my book. What I usually do is I wait a week before school is about to start, and I actually email my professor. I pretty much kind of summarize my situation. Hey, I don't receive financial aid. I pay for everything, and I just wanted to know, do you use your textbook throughout the semester? And I've gotten emails back where I've had professors say, no, don't worry about it. Don't buy the textbook. I've had professors email me and say, you don't have to worry about the textbook unless you're using it for homework. And the thing about the community college that I was attending was that they kept every textbook in the library and you could check it out. So they were like, you just need it for homework, so you can check it out in the library if you want to. I've gotten messages where they say, yes, you do need the book. You know what I'm saying? So you never know. And that's for people, regardless if you do receive financial aid or if you don't receive financial aid, it doesn't matter, because regardless, you get that money back. For people that receive financial aid, whatever money is not spent that semester, you get that money back. So why not try to get back as much money as possible? And if you don't need the book, then why buy it? Why buy a 200 something, like my calculus book, it was $276. Why? explain to me why. You know what I'm saying? But then whenever I emailed my professor, he just told me he only uses it for homework. So I never even had to purchase the book. I would just go to the library, copy the pages out that I needed, and luckily he gave us a whole list of what the homework was, like what pages and stuff for the whole semester. So I was able to one day just go in there and print out all the pages that I needed, and that was it. And I never had to purchase a book. You know what I'm saying? Also ask around. Don't be so fast to go buy those books, y'all. I don't care if they give you back $10,000. It does not matter. Don't be so quick to buy the books. You can get that money back. I'm just saying. So that, I definitely live by that. Because like I said, I have to pay for a lot. It's extremely important that you're saving your money and you're writing out your bills and paying attention to the money that you spend so that you're able to be successful. Like I said, I've been living on my own for 5 years, and I will never lie, it was a struggle in the beginning. And sometimes I still have my own struggles. None of us are perfect. But with hard work and determination, you can, you know what I'm saying, you can make it, and you can do the things that you want to do. And it's just all about, you just gotta keep grinding, man. Like, I'm not letting anything stop me. I'm not letting where I'm at now dictate where my future is gonna be at, you know. So I know I have blessings coming my way, simple as that, and I'm just speaking it into existence now because I know that that's gonna happen. But for right now, I am going to keep it moving, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. And it's just important that you're saving your money, y'all, just because it's extremely important, for real. But I just wanted to bring this video to y'all, just giving out a little bit of advice for people like myself who, we do live on our own, we do go to school full-time, and we do work a full-time job. 40+ hours a week I put in, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, sometimes it's hard, but the grind never stops. So I just wanted to bring y'all this video. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. Make sure that y'all check out some of my latest videos and stay tuned for more. And all my beautiful jewels, I want y'all to stay beautiful like you do. Always stay true to you, y'all. And it is your girl Tyrena signing out.